These conversations always be hard for me to have personally because I don't ever have a dog in the fight, and I also feel like I shouldn't be talking to anybody about these type of situations, especially me not being one of the type of people, if that makes sense. But let go.
Living as a woman doesn't make you a woman.
I trust people to be an expert in their own gender. If someone has been living as a woman for 15 years...
What does that mean, living as a woman?
Well, it means what I've said.
Well, what does it mean? What does it mean to live as a woman?
I don't really know how...
Yeah, see? It's like, it's kind of hard because you're legitly just supposed to say that's a human existing at that point, just to be fair. Like, if you're being fair to people, you're just existing, and that's understandable. This is where the tricky part comes in with the wordplay type shit. It's like, I know you want to believe said thing, but you really can't believe said thing. But I'm gonna show y'all later. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about.
I don't know how I can answer the question again. If a trans woman has
wear
been...
dresses, you read certain books, you like something, what does it mean? Not every woman lives wearing a dress, not every woman wears makeup.
No, indeed, and that's a much larger question about kind of gender discourse and feminism more widely. But my point is that if someone is a woman, has lived as a woman for many years, needs support because they've experienced...
I'm sorry to tell you, right? And I know y'all gonna look at me and say, oh, we're not animals, this, that, and the third. But cool. I've seen stories of people raising animals like chimps as regular humans type shit. Like regular. And they still turn out to have their natural born nature innate in them. So yes, we may not be animals, but I'm pretty sure emotions and actions when you're angry may run the same. The only difference is their words don't sound like ours, at least to me.
The transsexuals were autistic. So what I found is that all my male transsexuals were autistic. And if you're autistic, you do not want someone to question them, because if you don't agree with them, you hate them. So to challenge them is to be hateful. And then to another example of the autistic thing is the pronoun thing. I mean, people have gone pronoun mad. I mean, the pronoun was this lesser known part of grammar for years, but now it's pronouns taking over the world. But the reason why pronouns are so important to autistic trans people is because the main...
Now, if y'all got to this part of the video, please listen. If you need to go back and listen to it, listen to him clearly, because it made sense when I listened to him. Feel me? It's like, I don't know how we as people can hear the information and not understand which one sounds wrong and which one sounds more plausible.
The main deficit of the autistic mind is not being able to envisage what someone else's mind is thinking. So they have to go on macro clues, like if you're smiling, you're happy. If you're frowning or crying, you're sad. If you're shouting, you're angry. So the transsexual person dressed up has no idea whether they're passing or not, whether you're reading them or not. So if I can get you to call me she and use she, her pronouns, and you say that, therefore you think that. So even though...
You hear it, right? Like, just think about that. And now I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in there and just think how those people are making other people talk the way that they want them to talk, just for them to believe it in their own head that they're allowed to be what they think you want them to be. But mind you, you don't want them to be that. They want to be that, but they're trying to use your belief system to make their belief real. Like, why you could just live your own life. I don't have to. If you don't like the way I talk, you also don't have to talk to me. I don't have to make sure I speak politically or whatever. I don't even know what type of correct is that towards you, but for some reason
they can't police your thought, they can police your speech. And that's a roundabout way of policing your thought, because he's using she, her pronouns. So therefore he is seeing me and believing that I'm she, her. If you slip up, then you don't believe it. So it's a very teleological, very black and white way of a proxy understanding of what's happening in your mind. Because they don't get bothered about other bits of grammar, but that for them means you really believe.
Now, if that's very black and white, like he was saying, who is more complex then? If you talking to me and me using pronouns is something that makes you black and white in this scenario, I'm not gonna say too much. I'm gonna leave it alone. But tell me if y'all understood that. Leave a comment. And we got one more, and I'm gonna let y'all go.
Texas Congressman Keith Self referred to transgender Congresswoman Sarah McBride as Mr. McBride, and then another member came to her defense. Take a listen.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Now, I'm not coming over here to justify nothing that nobody was saying. I'm just coming to simply show you a moment. Like that video, this is a moment. Not saying that this is exactly what's going on, but think about it with that video you just seen. If you compare it to this, it would be that thing. The person that you don't have to see the person's face to understand what's going on in their head, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America, please?
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I mean, I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
Well, last night, McBride wrote on X, "No matter how I'm treated by some colleagues, nothing diminishes my awe and gratitude at getting to represent Delaware in Congress."
Yeah, I would have been wrong if you didn't have posted. Would have been wrong if you didn't have posted. I swear to God, I would have been wrong. But nope. If y'all thinking of it the way I'm thinking of it in my head, no, that's the scenario that the guy was talking about. No, you get to believe it, so you get to achieve it, type shit. Tell me what y'all think in the comments, man.